Hey everybody.
Is it on?
Are we on?
It's on the arrow.
I think we on though. I think we are there.
I think we on. We on. We've been on 15 seconds. What it say?
Oh, okay. All right. So I ain't no look.
Hey.
Hey there.
How y'all doing? What's going on? Y'all get ready? Come on in. Come on in.
Come on in.
On this Monday.
Shalom.
On this
You
Monday.
need to take it back to old Mike now. Sean.
Wait. Hey, come on in. Yeah, there y'all go.
Waiting on our cup of Joe.
Yeah. Now y'all know the architect. He serves up the best coffees.
Oh my goodness.
Not one coffee, but coffees.
The coffees.
The best coffees.
The best coffees.
And so we are sitting here awaiting.
Coffees for our esophaguses.
Okay. We are anxiously awaiting this coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Erica.
Uh-oh. Is Erica on?
I don't know if she on there, but we shout her out because Erica is on vacation, y'all. And she is doing it real big down in the Bahamas.
Listen, she riding through the water on the horses and everything.
Yeah, she riding horses off in the distance with the sunset
Listen,
on the beach.
having her a good old time.
A real good time. And so that's why we are one less today. But she's still here. She'll be.
She's still here.
You know how she do. She might pop up in the comment section anytime.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Erica and all her family and crew that's down in the Bahamas. We're gonna get ready to take us a trip too. Shit, that's real.
I swear I was
we
literally
can broadcast from the Bahamas.
I'm with it.
You know what?
I'm with it.
Do you hear
I
about
need a vacation. Vacation.
a vacation or a vacation?
A vacation. Back and go.
Make sure y'all like the video.
Yes, make sure you like, share, and tag 3 people.
Yeah, like, share, tag 3
I learned that
people.
from them, baby.
Okay.
Yes, Lord. Like, share, tag 3 people.
For real. This
Follow us on Instagram, all social media. Stay connected.
Yeah, like Jericho No Walls, YouTube, Jericho No Walls on Facebook, Jericho No Walls on TikTok, and Twitter. Now, the only difference is Instagram is jericho.no.walls. But other than that, everything is the same. Jericho No Walls.
Jericho No Walls. Y'all got that?
We got some hot topics.
I'm excited about it.
We
I'm
do?
excited about hot topics.
What's the first one? What you got?
Why are you excited about hot topics?
Because I'm a hot girl.
I need a hot girl.
What you need, boy? I need a hot girl. What you want, boy? I want a hot girl.
What you
I want
got?
a hot one. I got one to take it. Y'all, I was finna give all my stuff. Anyway, so last week when we were on, people were arriving to the Met Gala.
Oh, that's right.
Y'all didn't even catch that we was pulling that Karl Lagerfeld through because we all had on black and white. So let me now just bring y'all into it. We were all channeling our inner Karl Lagerfeld fashion.
Hey, let me say, back when I was in the day, if you had Karl Lagerfeld on, you was the thing.
And still.
You was the thing.
Listen, that little man with that white hair and pulled back in them frames.
He also had the crazy fragrances too. You know about the Karl Lagerfeld fragrances back in the day. He was.
But at the Met, they was giving it to us. Listen, some people were, to me, for the Met, because I'm so used to like the over the top avant-garde looks and things like that. You know, some came to slay and some should have stayed at home. But we ain't gonna get into who should have stayed, because we're about uplifting people. We love y'all.
Right, we love y'all.
But let me tell you, so let's just catch a couple of the people. Now, we were just talking about Doja Cat and how she was channeling her inner cat.
That was insane. Did y'all see that? Doja Cat, literally, it was like she came from the play cats.
Yeah, she looked good. She looked really, really good.
she had on the all-white Oscar de la Renta.
Mm-hmm.
They said it took over 5,000 hours just to make the dress alone.
Oh yeah, now let me tell you, when it comes to the Met, this is from a fashion girl.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the Met, people are putting, as they say on the R&B Money podcast, they be putting that stuff on. They be putting that stuff on.
Put it on,
and they put it on for the Met. That's where you put it on to go. So yes, Doja Cat, she was pulling it. I even like what Kim Kardashian had on. I wasn't extremely impressed, and the only reason is because I expect a lot more out of her. Because
she had Pirelli.
Yeah, I expect a lot more out of Kim because she always kind of come with it, and for this to be the year that she showed up. Well, no, because I think last year she showed up without Ye too.
Mm-hmm. But this time she made sure she could move around.
Yeah,
last year she was hopping up them steps. She was like,
listen. Speaking of hopping. My favorites.
Okay.
With the exception of the train that Ashley had Karl Lagerfeld on it. Besides that, look. Who took it for me? I'm talking about straight took it for me, but she does it for me anyway.
She does it.
Is none other than Tiana Taylor.
Okay.
Shut down. It was shut down city.
Okay.
I want that. I want the look. Like she killed it.
The Tiana Taylor, she definitely came in with the full design.
Yes, the lace up. And it was all about the details. So the look was good, but then the aviators and the very nice sheer black birdcage veil that went along with her hair and how nice and smooth her hair was. Like it was just, it was beautiful.
It was tweed. It had the hip cutout on the side.
Yeah, so y'all can see that even after the baby, she still got that body yaddy. Like
it was with the bottom. It was a tight fitting maxi skirt. You know, and so. The aviators, her hair was just slayed.
Everything, like it was a full look. And for me, as a stylist, something that just always does it for me is the whole thought behind the full look. So from head to toe, she was hopping, but baby.
She was hopping now. She was hopping and posing.
She was.
She was hopping and posing.
Her body, her body was good. Honorable mention definitely would be Briana and her boo, Mr. A$AP Rocky. They always
came in the Valentino on the Bugatti.
Now, one thing I have to say about A$AP. Do you know what A$AP means?
No.
As soon as possible.
I guess that's what it means for him.
No. Oh, Cardi B looks cute too. I love that.
Yeah, Cardi B looked really good.
I love what Cardi was doing. What I have to say about A$AP is always, can you look it up? I don't want to say it wrong. But when he find it, it's really good. It's actually in one of his song lyrics, T.I. said it. And I was like, oh yeah. I'm feeling it. I want to say always.
I'll find it.
Something he's gonna find it when he find it. I'm gonna tell y'all, but it's really good. It made me understand.
Always strive and prosper.
Always strive and prosper.
Yeah.
I was like, A$AP. I get it. It means something. It really does mean something. And so, but one thing about him, he's always been into fashion. He was a fashion guy before he became a music guy. And so I love the collaboration of their love story between him and
the Valentino roses, all white roses, all over the dress.
Those
it was a
hand rolls back, rosettes, that absolutely beautiful.
And it takes a long time to make, and the train was very long.
She looked great.
The train filled the temple.
The train, you know what? The train filled the temple. My Lord.
My Lord.
You done got coffee. You done got.
I done got my cup of joe. It's tall again, so I'm slurping it.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. There she go, y'all. Oh.
It do something to you though. I can't even lie. It's listen. I had to slurp because today I have on a white shirt and I don't want to seem like I had a hold of my mouth and get dribbled. So
But Gigi had it, came in the Givenchy.
Ain't nothing like a good Givenchy.
She had the Lagos jewelry. It was all black. It was fitted. She also, there might have been a thing for the night to have the hips out. You know,
well, that's a thing called Lagerfeld. So that's a piece from him. So yeah, definitely the high hip cuts.
The high hip cuts. Kendall Jenner came in the Marc Jacobs. And
everybody was giving it in their black and white. Like
they really were their black and white.
All giving it in that black
Anne
and white.
Hathaway came in with the Versace and the Bulgari. Very nice.
I love that.
With
I
the
love
long lace gloves.
So what's the great thing about the Anne Hathaway piece is it's very much Chanel inspired, and the Chanel suit. So yeah, she was giving. The classics you can't do. Them classics is nothing. You just.
It is what
it
is.
It's nothing you could do with a classic. It was the Met. It was the Met.
How much is it to go to the Met now?
It's by invitation.
Invitation only.
It's by invitation. It's a beautiful thing.
I imagine
it's so much better to be asked up than to be asked down.
I imagine those are like $50,000 donations or something.
I'm sure.
Everybody. What do you think about J-Lo and the Ralph Lauren and the 15-foot train?
I think that it was nice, but I still feel like because J-Lo has the ability to be such a great fashion icon, I wasn't overly impressed. It was nice, definitely, but I think J-Lo was still trying to let us know that even in her 50s, she still got that body, yada.
She got that body now, my Lord.
Did you find it very interesting that she wasn't with her husband though?
That was kind of interesting.
There you go, Bishop.
Oh, y'all gotta excuse me, I gotta concentrate.
The engineer.
I believe that she officially decided that her husband could not go to no more hip events because he don't know how to hold his face.
Oh my goodness.
The last couple of awards that I seen him at, Mr. Affleck, he is not to say he ain't for our people, but it's a little bit more than he can bear. It's a little bit more than he can bear. Because at the Grammys, J-Lo was up, and I'm talking about she was giving us Jenny from the block. Do you hear me? She was feeling it. He was just looking lost. Every time the camera found him, I was like, oh, poor thing. It's like taking your wife to your job thing, and she don't really know nobody, and she ain't necessarily very personable, so she ain't talking. She's like, I'm just here.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Did you see Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade?
When?
At the Met Gala.
I actually didn't.
You didn't?
But let me say this. What I love about them, they complement each other well. And especially since he's been out of the league and they've been such supportive parents to Zaya, they come for the fashion. He about the fashion life. They come for the fashion. They look
really nice. You need to check it out.
I need to find it. I need to see that picture.
That is definitely
they do.
Definitely something to see. But beyond the Met Gala, y'all, I'm telling you, it's been so many things that's been happening. Here in Atlanta, I don't know if y'all caught it, on CBS Morning News, they had Bishop T.D. Jakes on. Did you see it?
The bishop?
They had the bishop. They had the
Bishop T.D. Jakes is the people's bishop.
Now up there, the young people's bishop is Jamal, Pastor Jamal Bryant. Pastor Jamal Bryant. But the bishop is Bishop T.D. Jakes. And so CBS Mornings,
bishop for sure.
They had him on, y'all, and he has partnered with Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo has said that they would match up to $1 billion to it. $1 billion, that's with a B. To invest right here in Atlanta near Fort McPherson, at the Fort McPherson project.
Near Jericho.
Near Jericho. Oh my gosh. And partnership with Tyler Perry. And it's going to be multi-use, multi-family, and it's going to be like a live, work, and play environment, and it's going to be shopping. He wants to create a space so that, because he says it's a lot of dry, marketplaces where you can't get groceries in these type of areas. So he wants to increase these things. So what do you think about that?
I'm curious.
You curious? I'm curious too, because this is right next to $2 billion, that's with another B, project that the Atlanta Beltline is running right next to the Fort McPherson project.
So can I add the black woman?
Come on in while I sip my coffee.
Why it's interesting and I'm very curious, and it's gonna be a little.
That's okay.
And then open up.
That's okay.
It's gonna be a little shady.
Oh my Lord! Wait a minute, show it
It's gonna be a
again.
little
Shade. Oh my goodness.
because let me be very
Man,
clear.
gonna love that, by the way.
Let me be clear. This Beltline project ain't for us. And this whole area was all us.
There's been a lot of people complaining
It's been a
about
whole
that
lot of gentrification.
too.
Don't let this blonde hair fool you, baby. I am a black girl.
Did you hear like almost 2 months ago, Tyler Perry paid $750,000, $750,000 worth of taxes, back taxes for elderly people that live right along the Beltline and right around Fort McPherson. Now they're trying to make this thing smooth. They're trying to smooth some of this stuff out because they finna spend a lot of money in
They
this
finna
area.
spend a lot of money putting it grows out. I said what I
I'm
said.
sipping.
Because all of this sounds so great, all of this big money and all of this. And why I say this is because if we just gonna get right down to the meat of this thing, we're talking about billionaires. What'll be another B, right? We're talking about billionaires that are partnering with billionaires to do $1 billion things.
We gotta walk through. We gotta walk through.
$100.
Oh Lord.
If they could be.
Y'all know what time it is.
Not yet.
For people who were having a problem being able to, like you just said, pay their taxes for their homes and all of these different things. So now, here we go. And yes, it's great. All of the gentrification, all of the beautification, all of that.
Hey,
Great.
Mayor.
Hey, Mayor.
Hey, the mayor just
All of
chimed
that
in.
is absolutely wonderful. But if you cannot live there, who do we really do it for? Did we do it so that the other people who are now moving from the suburbs and want to be more down in the city, want to have more metropolitan area, that like you said, that eat, live, all of that.
Work, play, environment. So
Not trying to be funny, none of this stuff is governmentally assistance for people who already got Section 8, home assistance, all of that. This is where these people grew up, where they've been from. And so now you're coming in and you're redoing these communities and these people can't stay. Yeah, we're going to give some housing. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people say, there's a percentage that we're going to do for low income. Well,
what is that percentage?
They say that.
How big is it?
And nobody's saying how much the percentage is, and it's a lot of people that's not going into really doing the research. So these people are still being displaced. And can I take it even a step further? What's happening is they're moving these people out to the suburbs with no cars because they're used to public transportation. So they get moved out to the suburbs. So your Stone Mountains, your Snellville, your Loganville, your Dallas, your Douglasville, all of these different places here in Atlanta, and these people is going out there and they can't get back and forth to work. So then now their property taxes in these other towns are going. It's like I feel like it's a great idea. The concept is great, but I feel like they have absolutely, positively. Go on, get low, bitch. Go on, get low. So
You want to see if these needs is any good?
let's see if you and Meg know each other, honey.
Get low, get down low. How low can you
Listen,
go?
I seen him trying
Can
to
you
not
go
have
to
to
the floor?
not go through the camera.
You got
so
good
this is-
knees.
yeah. Let's see.
Do you got good
He
knees?
put up some shorts for
Do
us
you
tonight,
got
so
good
can he
knees?
get that?
Do you got good knees? Do you got good knees?
Y'all don't need to see his head.
Get out low.
He made it.
Get out low.
So glad you made it.
He got out the shade.
But like I said, I feel like the concept is great, and I feel like we hear on the news all the time all of these wonderful accolades for these great things. But I feel like Jerry Maguire, show me the money, show me where the money really going, because they making all of these places, you know, so beautiful and nice and all of these different things, but these people can't stay here.
To the people that have homes here, you should keep your home. Okay, those that bought in this area, they were like 180,000.
I don't even know
those houses
said,
now,
sure
they're now worth over 300, going towards $400,000 over the next 5 to 10 years. With all of the movie theaters, Atlanta is now #1 in movies made and in television shows created across the nation. There is no more Hollywood. Hollywood is in Atlanta.
We've been the Southern Hollywood of the South for sure. Like
Marvel Comics makes all of their movies here. You know,
Fast and Furious. Like I worked on Fast. Y'all know I come from a production movie background, so like we did Fast and the Furious here. Like every time I'm down by Mitchell Street, I think about that tunnel scene that was literally right there. So we've had so many things, but again, this is my thing. All of this is great. Bringing all of these things, even though one of the other hot topics that I did want to talk about was this writer's strike.
That is pretty interesting.
Which is why your girl got so many gifts and talents that she working, because these folks, they finna shut down some things. And some of our favorite shows, if AI can't get it, ooh, honey. I'm just saying, I'm interested to see how this go, because this, just on this note, and I stick a pin and come back, but even in the movie and entertainment industry, they don't value you. And at this point, I understand why the writers are like, you're gonna put some respect on my name. Because this streaming service and all of these different things, they're not making no more money. And you know, these studios, they're working hard. And these studios feel like, oh, we can just get some AI, somebody to come in. Because if we be very honest, if you watch TV, a lot of this is really a formula.
Right.
Nowadays, it's just a formula. If you just keep it 100, it's a formula. You need to have somebody black, somebody white, somebody gay, somebody with some kind of heart piece that everybody can relate to. Like, if you have that, you got a hit. It's just the truth. If it put on your heart, it's just the truth. And so because of that, they think that they don't need you. And that is just a fact. You have to make yourself irreplaceable. And right now,
the writers are irreplaceable. And
good ones are. But now let me say this, and this probably is such a devil's advocate piece. And that is the blessing that this could be to some of those young writers who never got opportunities.
Never got a chance.
Oh, they gonna be looking. They listen. What they say about the people when they are having, they be striking. It's gonna be some writer that's gonna step over to get out there to be able to have their thing going on.
It's kind of like what COVID happened. You know, it's people that they learn how to play music. It's people started to do podcasts. It's people started new churches, new businesses.
I think that's what's gonna take over too.
What?
Podcasting.
Yes.
Podcasting is going to take over for our regular television shows and all of that. From podcasts, vlogging, and all of that. We were already kind of going in that area.
It said that 77% of individuals between the ages of 18 and 35 consume all of their media from YouTube. 77%.
YouTube has literally come so far. I remember like when it wasn't hard to be like completely certified like on YouTube, and now it's like it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it is.
You fall into a full on. You can find, and like how people say you can find it on Google, you can find anything.
You can learn how to play the piano. You can learn how to fix your car.
Speak a different language.
That's true.
Do your hair, your makeup, your lashes, all of it. Now let me just a quick little shady moment. Just because it looks good on the camera, some of this makeup trick y'all is doing, doing. It's trick or treating, y'all, for real. Please stop doing this stuff to yourself.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
There's a difference between costume and fun and actually,
Honey,
you know, looking nice.
foolery.
You know what I'm
Foolery.
There's a
I'm
time to
seeing
look like a
folks.
cat at the Met Gala, and then there's a time that you need to, you know, just have something.
Listen. She looked like she your skin tone on the screen. She is not. They're not telling you everything you need to know. I'm gonna come off my soapbox.
Wait a minute. I got a joke because Erica's not here.
We got to, well, let's get to the joke. But I did want to say hello to the mayor. She is online with us today. She said, hey, family.
We did. He was late.
Man.
He is so behind.
I'm catching up.
Wait a minute. How long did
He tried us like
How
he
long?
talked to the man
Wait, I got a joke. How long did Cain dislike his brother?
from the womb.
As long as he was able.
I'm gonna have to use that one. How long it came?
Wait, I got one more.
Oh, my God.
What kind of coffee do church folk drink? Hebrews.
The mayor said that's a good one. You know what? And the crazy part is,
the Abel one was good, but now the Hebrews just
Hebrews coffee. Come on now. Y'all know what?
as I drink my cup of joe.
Y'all know the Hebrews coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I heard that they smuggling fruit roll-ups into China, y'all.
I got a joke. It may not be funny, but it may.
Tell us something. Go.
What is the Christian's horoscope?
What is it?
Revelations.
Okay. Okay.
We need the sound of the
Okay.
from The Price is Right when somebody loses.
I'm sorry, I was trying to think of Jay because that Hebrew thing threw me off.
It's all good. They clean. It's all good. Wait, so y'all don't like folks smuggling fruit roll-ups?
I don't get the concept. I don't know why.
Is it too American?
It's no. I guess it's a thing now. You know, people like the taste of them, and so folks is smuggling fruit roll-ups out the
They not
country,
that good.
trying to get them to folks overseas because they.
That means it's a high commodity. That sound like what you call it? Honey buns in jail.
And they sending folks to jail for these fruit roll-ups now.
Wait a minute.
It's smuggling. It's illegal. You only supposed to have so much candy coming in the country.
That don't even make sense.
I know.
I guess it's not
Jail
taxable.
for anything.
Is it because it's not taxable?
It's food.
I'm not sure, but you ain't supposed to be having suitcases full of fruit roll-ups.
Somebody selling their stamps and sending out some food.
Talking about we can make some money.
Listen,
For real,
let me
y'all.
flip that sounds like a more legal hustle than dope.
I mean, because if they had marijuana, then I guess.
I'm just saying it's fruit roll-ups. I'm selling sugar. I just feel like that.
Well, now that we all here, I guess we've had our hot topics. I guess we can pray and get ready to move forward with the rest of our evening.
Yes.
Yeah. How long we been online already?
I don't know.
20 minutes?
Maybe.
About 25, 30 minutes.
Oh my Lord. My, how time flies when you're having such a stupendous time.
Such
huh?
a stupendous time.
All right. Well, we're going to get started with a word of prayer. Listen, as we get ready to pray, we do want to keep the people in mind that were there was an incident over last week in Texas. Y'all hear about the shooting?
Mm-hmm.
You hear about a shooting in P-Town?
And the one here in Atlanta. Jesus Christ. It's one every day almost.
Listen.
No shade to the Texas people, but I mean, we
That's
had
really
to shut it. Listen,
So
we sweeping around our own front door right now.
Listen. Gracious and eternal Father, Lord, we just thank you. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your favor. We thank you that we're still here.
Thank you,
In the
Lord.
midst of all the crises and all the things that may be going wrong in this world and even in our personal lives, Lord, we just thank you for keeping us, oh God. We thank you for keeping us strong and with a strong mind and will to be able to continue working and living for you, oh God. Lord, we just ask right now that during this cup of Joe, God, Lord, that you begin to move by your spirit, oh God, Lord, begin to touch the lives and those that are listening and watching now and in the future, oh God. And Father, we'll be careful to give you the praises, honor, glory, and victory. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 This cup of Joe got me with a sweat. I don't know if it's my I don't know if it's premenopausal hot flashes or what, but whoo, I'm about to have to open this fan.
Listen, if you do the side motion here from this other side. Yeah, that one right there.
Did you see this instant air conditioning he tried to make me
That feels real.
Don't.
Great breeze. Wow.
Oh,
The shade.
Lord.
Shade is
Listen, that's what we want to be. We want to be in the shade. Yeah, we probably should turn the other way so they can see the shade.
I
As you
can't
fan.
see. If I fan it like that, then you don't get it.
Oh, then I'm gonna get it. My Lord. That feels good.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
It's a fresh wind, huh?
Ooh, it's the fresh wind for me.
Didn't they say that was like Pentecost? They said what they
Like a Russian mighty
the
wind.
spirit,
Kinda like
the
a
spirit of the Lord came upon them like a mighty Russian wind. We coming up on Pentecost too.
We are. Fourth Sunday this month.
Fourth
And listen,
Sunday
y'all
this
better
month.
tune in to Jericho No Walls because we got a special treat for y'all. Matter of fact, we got another treat coming up in the next couple of weeks. We had a guest artist to come in and record with us. Antoine Wallace, let me tell you something. He did a song. He's an indie artist. He did a song.
I love an indie artist.
Ain't it?
I love an indie
And he did this song called I Am God. Listen. It is CCM and we rocked it out. You hear me?
Okay.
We rocked it out and he did his thing. So we were just so happy to have him a part of it. And listen, when I tell you Pentecost Sunday comes across, oh Lord, when Pentecost Sunday comes, oh
Pentecost Sunday comes.
When Sunday.
She ain't singing.
Yes, and she gonna do the Daryl Coley.
Listen, that Jericho, that's what I heard.
The man said he is absolutely amazing. This is a great show we watch every week. I mean, BSNN, man.
Thanks,
Listen.
BSNN.
Thank you. Thanks for supporting and
We
watching.
appreciate that.
Man,
Appreciate
man,
that.
listen. So it's a, oh Lord. I think.
I love Pastor's hat. Okay, man, we hear you. We hear you. Come on in, then. Come through with it.
It's the smile for me. It's the
It's the pose.
it's the team for me.
It's the pose.
It's the team for me.
So we know y'all be going through stuff. Everybody goes through stuff, no matter what they look like, no matter how much they smiling, no matter how we see you, man. No matter how much they are laughing. We all go through things.
Mhm.
We just don't talk about the things that we are going through. My dad used to say, you don't have to open up your mouth and remove all doubt. And so everybody don't have to know that you're hungry. Everybody doesn't have to know that you're sick. But if you don't tell people, they are not going to know. But we're all growing through our pains. And so that was actually the topic of the sermon on yesterday. Grow in pain.
Grow in pain.
Not growing pains, but grow in pain. And so I got a different perspective off of that, because a lot of times people think when you say pain, you're talking about negative things. But as a former and still, I consider myself sometimes an athlete. I'm a little older now. But when you work out, say you have leg days, everybody knows that next day after leg days, your legs are in pain. But it's not pain because you've hurt yourself. It's pain from the muscles actually stretching and growing from the work that you did. So now the Bible says, unless a seed fall into the ground and die, it cannot live. So you have to have some things to happen to you so that you can grow. But the architect had 4 main points about how you grow in pain. So first one was allow yourself to feel your emotions.
Yeah, I think that that's probably one of the most necessary things that we consistently overlook. Because we also live in a society that says keep your stuff to yourself.
Hide your emotions.
Yeah, hide your emotions because everybody going through something. And I think that it makes us alleviate the necessity of feeling that emotion, being able to articulate that emotion so that you can then work through it. You know what I'm saying? If it's something you don't address, then you have no way of healing from it. You have no way of growing in it. You have no way of growing through it. And how about this? You also have no way of outgrowing it.
So
that's true.
So you talk about healing. Okay, how can something heal when there is a alien or a foreign object in the womb?
Okay.
So if there's always a foreign object in the womb, it's gonna always bring pain. That's why, and you can't bring forth healing. So if you have a flesh wound and you had a bullet in there, or let's say a blade in there, and a piece of the blade is still sitting there, it's gonna forever. Whenever you move or move a certain way, it's gonna reinfect it. It's gonna re-injure it, and so you can never fully get recovered until you remove the foreign stuff, including the infection. And without handling it, and whenever you remove that foreign object or the infection, guess what? It hurts.
Oh yeah.
It
But then even the
does.
other part about the foreign piece is to kind of bring it back to just needing to feel is it will continue to be foreign to you until you become aware of exactly what it is. You know how sometimes
you need your diagnosis.
Exactly. Sometimes you have something, and because it goes undiagnosed, what ends up happening is you learn to deal with the pain. I was just telling somebody yesterday about how so many times we get into a place of a comfort zone, and our comfort zone is really not a place of comfort. It's a place that we learn to be comfortable in that really is a traumatizing, hurtful place.
Yes.
Like the example that I always use is somebody comes to your house and your house on fire. Everything's singed, your hair on fire, as one of your dresses burn, and people coming in like, girl, you don't feel this heat?
Right.
And literally you're like, it's fine. You'll get used to the heat because we get used to things that we do not address. We just
we adapt.
We adapt.
And
we are adapting people.
The Apostle Paul said something, the same thing what she was talking about in 2 Corinthians, when he said that the Lord had given a thorn in his flesh. He said, he called it the messenger of Satan to buffet him. And he asked God, he said, how come you will not remove this thorn from my flesh? And he said, my strength is actually made perfect in your weakness. So sometimes God gives us things so that we know that God is doing this. Okay, because if it was Joe, you know, this old thorn is in there, I might be too fearful to step out there. You know, I may not have the courage to do it, but God put something in me and say, no, you're going to do it. It might hurt you, but this is actually for your good. That goes back to all things working for you good too.
Okay, and so Bishop, I also have to remember, you also have to remember in that scripture, Paul trying to figure out how he can help all these other people get their healing. Help all these people get their deliverance. He can introduce Christ and start a church in Corinth. He can start a church in Ephesus. He can start a church, you know what I'm saying? He can start a church in all these places. But when it's time for his healing and time for the thing that is bothering him, the thorn that's in his flesh, God said, no, I'm not going to remove that. Because that keeps you close to me.
Yes. Yeah. I put this in you so that you will understand that the grace is sufficient for you. And that's a lot of times we don't understand that grace, he gives grace unto whom he chooses to give grace. Now, favor is not fair, but grace, God, he can give it to anyone who he chooses to. That's what he means when he says goodness and mercy following you. A lot of that's grace. God is granting unto, you're not even worthy of it, but he still gives it to you. And so that's how you know, okay, I might have something in me that hurts, but God said, I'm giving you this so that you understand that my grace is sufficient for you. I'm sorry.
No. So, great, it was a great point. So what it was leading me to is so many times we feel so disqualified because of the affliction. And then what you were just saying, what it made me think about is you feel disqualified, but your affliction is what qualifies you to be able to go into the purpose that he gave you.
That's so right.
So if you're not willing to address the fact that this happened for my good, y'all know I constantly talk about my self-discovery journey. And that's something I had. You have so many questions. Like I've shared personal things with you guys, and it's like I'm free to talk about it because I've seen that it was for the person who God has attached to me and my purpose to be able to say, no, I did that. Yeah, I went through that. Yeah, I had that same thing happen, but look at me now. Like I'm still able to move, and guess what? I'm able to move with a strong relationship with God, with my right mind. And be intentional in my movement because I know for a fact that it happened for my good. It didn't feel like it at the time. It didn't look like it at the time. And it was moments I was like, God, what in the world? What are we doing? Like, I thought you had something for me.
Right.
And he said, I did. I had something for you. But because of what I have for you, I need to see that you're going to be able to carry the weight.
That's right. And see, that goes along with part of what Bishop was saying in the message. Sometimes you got to consult a therapist. Sometimes you need to get somebody just to talk to. And you can get your pastor, you can get Christian counseling, but it's all right to get your jobs. A lot of our jobs, they provide professional counseling for free.
Especially in this climate.
If we just ask for someone to talk to. Ask for help. Sit and breathe. Take this stuff in so that you don't let your emotions overwhelm you.
And the mayor said, yes, that's good, y'all. So she giving us good encouragement, which I appreciate that. And let me also say too that the mayor sang a song last week, the goodness of God.
The goodness.
Let me tell y'all something. The woman of God sang
my Lord
song. You hear me? I'm still getting phone calls about that song.
We've been getting texts and emails from all over the world talking about that song. Bless people.
Hannah, she was saying you straight to glory.
My Lord.
It is a fact. She was saying you straight on the glory.
Straight on up. But I say that in mentioning that to follow up on Bishop's point about God's grace being sufficient. Absolutely. And guess what? His grace is covering you. His grace is that goodness. His grace is that faithfulness that when you're going through a storm or going through a hard time, he's always there covering you, protecting you, walking with you, sometimes even carrying you when you don't even know how you're getting there and how you're making it. God is the very one that's strengthening you to continue to go through that situation.
And it's funny that you say that because I find oftentimes that we can riddle off these scriptures and these anecdotes from, that we've heard from pastors or leaders and things like that. And then when we in the thick of it, or as I like to say, when we got skin in the game.
Right.
Yeah, oh my Lord. That's it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Skin in the game.
Skin in the game.
Yeah.
There's a bruise, there's a cut, there's a something there that you see how much you really have invested. You forget what he's invested.
That's true.
Because he put a lot in you.
Listen, not only did he put it in you.
Yes.
Not a lot, he put it in you. that you fight against and that you fight for. He put it in you. And oftentimes we forget that part. We forget that we were born in purpose, on purpose, for purpose.
You know what? You didn't get to say that again.
In purpose.
In purpose.
With purpose.
With purpose.
For purpose.
For purpose.
We forget that.
On purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose. We forget that. And in our forgetting, we forget those times that the last time that we thought was the last time that we went through.
Very important for your mental health.
Oh my God.
You are here for a purpose. On purpose. This means something.
Even about you. I don't care what your mama, daddy, cousin, the butcher.
Even if you was adopted.
I don't care. It was for a purpose. There's somebody else, and something that I was just talking to a friend last night, and I was telling her, I was like, everything that you survived is because of the ministry that God has for you, the people He has for you. Yes. Because you can't talk nobody through something you ain't been through. You can't encourage somebody in a place that you ain't never been discouraged.
Hold on, wait on. She's on topic point number 2. Point number 2 is do one thing each day to remind yourself how amazing that you are. Now, sometimes you have to encourage yourself.
Listen, that's one of my go-to songs when I'm
sometimes you gotta speak life even during your test. Okay? The enemy, he creates these walls for you. You see what I'm saying? But giants, they still fall. You gotta speak over yourself. And you have to encourage. Shout out to Donald Lawrence.
Listen,
you got to encourage yourself in the Lord.
The best part of that song, as you saying, I'm hearing it in my ear, is as I minister to you, I minister to myself.
That's one of them songs you'll start crying on.
Listen, I cry every time I hear it.
I'm a wretch.
Filthy rags before His presence, but I've encouraged.
Listen, life can have you so that you feel like there's nothing left.
Nothing left.
Have you ever had a nothing left moment? You felt like, Lord, just take me out of glory, because I can't do it no more.
But you have to look at yourself in the mirror and encourage yourself. That was part of my process with losing weight. Losing weight is difficult, you all. It is one of the toughest battles you will ever have. But you have to
battle against yourself.
Even now, at 189 pounds, I still have to tell myself, look, Joe, you can do it. You can drink. You need to drink more water, Joe. You're doing good, man. You're doing good. You can walk,
you gotta be your biggest cheerleader. That's the part. And I find that when I go to places that I'm speaking and they, they're reading off my bio and stuff like that, and I come to the podium or to the mic and they're like, I was like, listen, give me a second, let me clap for myself.
Because I didn't even realize I did all that.
I realized I did it when I had
check your bio.
Listen,
but
not that I didn't I realized that I did it, but I know I didn't do it by my own might. And so the fact that I can stand up here through some of the things, because it hit a lot of home places. My bio is very well written, don't get me wrong, but it hit on some real places. After seeing societal things and having that pressure, being in the entertainment industry for all that time, what I realized is I wasn't the only person that was suffering with it.
Right.
And that I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see in the world, but I had to change what I was seeing in my mirror.
But that was part of what you were saying about encouraging other people.
Absolutely.
As soon as you start doing that, then you can actually start telling other people. Make a list of all your good qualities.
Yes.
There are other people
brag on you
that do a lot of great things, but I know logistics. I've been doing logistics 30 years. Now you might know how to do flowers, you might know how to do
whatever
entertainment.
You know how to do.
Okay, but that's one of my areas. I know it. I'm really good at it.
Come on now.
I can stand on it. Find your thing that you good at, and then encourage yourself. You know what? I'm really good at fashion. I know my fashion. I need to stay on my fashion. Encourage yourself.
Come on now.
Because once you become your best cheerleader, then you can start to encourage other people.
And Bishop, don't forget about the point within the point.
Mm-hmm.
The point within the point was find those traits within yourself that are positive, and then figure out which one of those traits you need in order to pull you out of this situation that you're in.
Now that's it there. That's it there. That going even going back to the point that you made about encouraging yourself and how you have talked to yourself like, Joe, you can do this and all these different things. My daily affirmation, daily, when I get in the mirror, I be like, hey girl, hey. And I say, God was so mindful of the world that he created you. He did. My name, your name, our names were in the book of life before anybody knew that we were formed. He knew us before we were formed, and before the seed, the seed met the egg, he knew who we were and what we would do and where we would miss and where we would skip. He knew it.
Oh, you in the book?
So for me, yes, God was so mindful of the world. He said, send that girl down there. I need her. This is where I need her to go. I need her to not always be listening. I need all of these things, because as I begin to correct the very thing that I allowed to happen, when she gets to the place of understanding, the place of relationship, I say that all the time because people always, say, well, are you a Christian, or how do you believe? And I always say, I'm not in religion, I'm in relationship. It's a give and take. It's reciprocal with me and God. And so because of that, in that relationship, there's certain conversations that I can have with him that are not, as I like to say, holy weird, because I feel like sometimes people make talking to God so weird and so extra, and it's not. It's just like how we talking to y'all, how we tell y'all that we love y'all. Because I have moments, I be like, Lord, come on now, what we doing, Shawty? Like, what is it that? Please show me what it is, because I don't want to keep going through this.
Yes.
Steady my eye. Turn off the other noise, steady my eye, because what I have learned is when I learn what he's trying to teach, the storm passes.
She's all in it, Bishop. She's in Romans 8. That says, and we know all things work together for the good of those that love him and who have been called according to his purpose. For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son. And verse 30, and those he predestined, he also called, and those he called, he justified, and those he justified, he glorified. Oh,
can we drop a pin right there? Can I just say this to the misfits? Can I just say this to the misfits, to the overlooked, to the you do too muchers? Can I say this to you that listen? Everybody want to say you wasn't called and that you wasn't gifted and you wasn't. But can I just help some people? A lot of our calls weren't put on display. It wasn't a conference call. It was a personal call. So I just want to help some people who be feeling that kind of way.
It was a personal call?
It was a personal call. Okay. It wasn't a three-way. It was not a conference call. Come on.
It was a private.
It was a private conversation. And one thing we know is that God will hide you. Until it is time for him to uncover and allow the other people. I'm just saying, for all of the people who be feeling like, oh my God,
trying to help somebody.
Oh my God. And I just feel like nobody understands me, but I know God is speaking to me. I know he's speaking through me. I know that I have purpose on my life. For each and every one of y'all, listen, that call, it wasn't public.
It was a personal call.
It was a personal, private call.
Stop telling folks your personal, private calls. It was for you and you only.
Until he ready to reveal it. And for those, what did you say? For those that he calls, he qualifies.
He justifies you.
You trying to justify a call that God have not justified out to people. Everybody not going to see it.
And
everybody not going to believe
it. We are justified by faith.
That's the word.
You see what I'm saying? You're justified by your faith. So nobody else got to believe except for you. Your faith.
Where you believe.
Your faith is enough. Your faith makes you whole. Your faith creates the miracle.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Boy. You have the power to create. You have
your
the power to
create
change.
Your world.
Your personal relationship.
Your relationship.
Your personal relationship.
So when you sit and you start putting that one thing that you know you do well and start finding those things, okay, I do this well, and this is what's going to help me out of this situation, you move forward on that. That's your faith. God gave you that.
And what they say, faith without works is what?
Is
dead.
But faith with works is what? It's got to be life. It's got to be the opposite.
It's got to be.
Faith with works is creation.
It's creation.
I like it.
Oh boy.
I like it.
So and we can create our own destiny.
Your words create your world.
You know what? We on topic 3.
We right there. We right there.
Spend time in prayer and meditation. Prayer is your words to God, and meditation is His words back to you.
Come on, Bishop.
Come
on, engineer.
Prayer is your words to God, but you got to meditate. In other words, you got to be quiet so you can hear Him talking back. Do you know how many folks pray, but they don't never meditate so they can hear? They be like, I ain't heard God say nothing. You never was quiet.
Oh, that's good.
How can we have a conversation? How can we have this podcast?
Reciprocal.
How can we have this podcast if I'm talking, you talking, and you talking? Now, we can all laugh together, but in order for us to get an understanding of what each other are saying,
that's good.
Then one person can talk, everybody else got to listen. And then we do it, and that's the only way that you can have a relationship. Because if only thing I'm doing is barking, talking, requesting, upset, crying, and I never take the time out to listen, to understand, to hear, to meditate, to take in everything. After I asked for something, maybe there was a response to my question. Maybe the response was yes. Maybe the response was no. Maybe the response was a condition.
Or wait.
Yes, with a condition. Well, if you continue to seek me, if you continue to seek if you follow my commandments.
That's good.
Come on now.
And even take that a step further. Sometimes, even in your meditation, if your ear is turned to it, He'll show you, because some people have not learned to truly hear. So He'll show you in an action, or He'll show you in something. But if you don't have yourself tuned in to see that everything is intentional. So Lord, you gotta be tapped in, because you'll say, Lord, I need this, and then here you go meeting somebody, and it's like, I don't want to tell them my business. I always go back to that joke when it comes to stuff like that. That joke where the man was sitting on a roof and it had flooded, and he had sent a boat by, and he sent this, and then the man inevitably drowned. And so when he went to heaven, he was like, Lord, why did you not save me? Why would you allow me to die? And he said, well, I sent a boat.
Okay.
I sent a plane. I sent a log. I sent all of these different things for you, but because it didn't look like what you expected me to do. That's another place. That's another place in being specific in what you're asking for, because oftentimes, because we be vague, He knows what we want, but He's trying to see if we really listening. Are we really paying attention? Do we really want it? He'll send you something, and you'll completely overlook it because it don't look like
what you thought it should have been.
What you thought it should have been. But it actually was. It had the potential to be all of those things, but because you overlooked you looked the gift horse in the mouth and walked away.
And God said, I sent it to you. I sent you your help. I sent you what you asked for. He said, but you had to go work the job. I sent you a job. You had to go work it. Or I was gonna send you a job. You had to put in your resume. I was gonna send you. I was gonna send the job, but you had to put in an application.
How about Erica last week? You wanted to win the lottery, but you had to go play the lottery. I'm just saying.
You can't win.
You can't win if you don't.
And see, there's biblical reference for this, in I believe Judges 6 and 36 and 40.
Oh well, you went Old Testament on.
Gideon wasn't sure what was going on, and so he asked God. He said, "Hey God, I don't really understand. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this fleece out on the ground. Okay, if the fleece is wet, in the morning,
Okay.
then I know you want me to do whatever you want me to do. I keep hearing what you saying.
Right.
Now I just want to make sure. Now if the fleece is not wet, then I know what I heard that was not God.
Mm-hmm.
That was the enemy talking to me.
Come on now.
Okay, and I need to get somewhere and sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're not sure, you can ask God, hey God, now listen, I need a little bit more direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and God will speak to you.
Yeah, he will.
Now when he speaks, you need to be meditating so you can
hear.
Come on now.
Meditation is important. Take that time to be silent. Take that time to think on the goodness of God. Take the time out to think on where you are and where you're trying to go. And see where it is that God really wants you to go. Maybe God he's getting ready to lay out the plan and lay out the path. Because honestly, the Jericho itself was occurred in meditation. The Jericho itself was, Jericho no walls. It was a quiet time, and it was, you know what, y'all, having a conversation with a group. You know what, y'all, we can do this.
We can do this
because I was shown, and it was like, well, why can't we?
Why can't we?
and I was finding reasons to do something as opposed to reasons not to do something.
Okay.
That's a whole nother word right there. Stop talking yourself out your blessing. I always say when you have an unctioning in your spirit and it won't release, it's something God is telling you or trying to show you. You gotta give us some sound effects, though.
We're in overtime.
When you have those things, it's a reason. Like I feel like people say, like, you have desires for certain things. It's because it's for you to have. It's how you gonna get there. And oftentimes you find out in meditation and through your prayer time and all of these different things, it's a reason why it's connected to your purpose and it's connected to your promise.
Yes.
Connected to your purpose and your promise. Don't give up on your purpose, or else you won't receive your promise.
The promise is still good. God is the one that
there's a place over here on the other side of town, or not too far from here, where I stay at, called Atlanta Fish Market. You have to get in line for the fish. It's the original hole in the wall, for fish. Now, if you get out of line, you lose your place. Come on, somebody gonna get this in just a second now.
How many times have you stepped out of line?
Oh, and they know. It ain't no numbers in there. They know. Them black folk know. No, you stepped out of line. You not in front of them.
How many times have you stepped out of line because you? Boy, that was a word for me.
And you lose your.
How many times?
You lose what's for you. All you had to do was stay right there.
You delay the time. Not deny it, you just delay it. How many times have you stepped out of line because you was tired of waiting?
See that?
Or how many times have you tried to jump the line
and lost your place?
Can't do that. Stay in line.
And that's not how God works. God is a patient God. He's patient with us.
He's true.
Yeah,
have
you met some of us?
Oh,
have you met me?
You heard me say us.
I mean, because and honestly, you have to be able to work your patience. Why do we do this at point number 4, Bishop?
Well,
why we always overtime? We get to overtime before before point number 4. And
point number 4 is crystal clear. You got to put your mask on first.
Come on now.
In the airplane, when the stewardess comes, she tells everybody at the beginning, look, in case of emergency, when the mask comes down, put your mask on first, even if you have a child next to you.
So I used to be a flight attendant, and that is very true. If you will please look at your brochures on the backside seat pocket. Please pull them out. In the case of an emergency, a face mask will drop from overhead. Please be sure to secure your mask first. Pull tightly on the strings. do one test breath to make sure that it does inflate. Please be sure to secure your mask before assisting your neighbor.
Now, that is important because if you pass out, you can't save nobody. Plus, you'll be gone. But if you can put your mask on, say the person next to you hasn't been able to get theirs on, then you can assist them. And as soon as the oxygen starts to get into their lungs, they will start to come back and start to become coherent again. But you got to save yourself first.
That's a whole message by itself. How many of us are sacrificing ourselves to save other people?
Come
Dying
on now.
daily. Because
Well, did you say dying daily?
dying daily.
Dying daily.
A confess, reform, people pleaser. God, I thank you.
A people pleaser.
A confess, reformed people pleaser. Let me tell you.
The mayor just jumped in. She said that's valuable information. Come on, go ahead, continue with the
Because let me tell you why. Because you find yourself living to save other people, but dying daily.
And you drowning.
You drowning. You drowning. And every time God sends you a life raft, every time he sends you a life jacket, you be like, oh,
you putting it on somebody else.
Here you go. I can tread water just a little bit more. I can tread water. And your head is underwater.
You empty inside.
Empty. Pouring from an empty. Matter of fact, every piece of pour that you pour out is a piece of chip because you're pouring from a broken place.
So you ain't even pouring the substance needed. You
pouring is blood. You draining yourself. You wondering why you tired, why your iron is low, why you feel fatigued,
Wow.
and you feel like you're running
Falling
on
asleep at the
empty
wheel.
because you have not taken yourself to
Falling
a
asleep at
place
your
to
desk.
replenish. Listen, reform, people pleaser. Please let me tell you. We find ourselves trying. Can I just help all my people pleasers out there?
Help us.
We find ourselves trying to love the way we want to be loved. We find ourselves wanting to show people how we want to be treated. Well, can I help you? Reform
people, please.
I taught myself how to treat me. Can I help you? I taught myself how to treat me by treating myself the way that I had been treating other people. By taking care of myself the way that I had taken care of other people. Because let me tell you something. People start to respect you when you respect you.
That's saying. Right. I'm going to tell you what my therapist told me. Said, Joe, you got to make yourself the baby. You know how when you have a baby, the baby got to be fed. And as soon as you feed it, you got to birth the baby. Be your own priority. And then after you birth the baby, you got to change the baby. Then after you change the baby, you need to refreshen the baby. And then after that, you got to rock the baby. And then when the baby sleeps, you still can't move. You got to hold the baby. You have to make
checking on the baby. How about that?
You have to make yourself the priority.
And it's not because you're selfish.
No, this is so that you can live.
Well, here's my question. I got $500. You got $500. Okay, you got a $1,000 bill.
She keep her money.
I just want to put it where it's.
No,
I just messing with you. Go ahead.
Why come I can't have none of your money?
Because as long as I got money, you'll never be broke. I'm just saying.
But you know we talk like that.
Oh yeah, we do.
But I got 500. You got 500.
Right.
We got you have $1,000 bill, and I got a $300 bill. You say, hey, Markell, can you help me? And I'm like, okay, McCall, I need my 300 now. If I give you my whole $500 so that you can pay your $1,000 bill, my $300 bill is still sitting over here that needs to be paid. So meanwhile, they come to repo my car, cut my lights off, or cut my gas off. Or cutting my credit card capabilities because I didn't pay my bill.
Right.
So I can't help you until I help myself. So then now, if we do it correctly, let me pay my $300 bill. Listen, I can let you. I can give you this $200. I can give you this hot $200, and maybe
see if we can work out some kind of agreement for you to be able to get your. But
I can't save you. And at the risk of losing me and mine. I mean, and I know, and especially as men, I'm gonna speak for the men's side. We always want to take care of the people that we love. If you're a man's man, your nature wants you to protect and provide. And sometimes we risk ourselves, and here we are sitting over here thinking, man, why don't anyone ever risk anything for me?
That's true.
Well, probably two things. You probably ain't asked for help. Thing number one.
Thank you, thing number one. Thank you for thing number one.
Thing number one, you probably didn't ask for help. And number two, you've been so busy being everybody's hero that they thinking you don't need help.
Bishop said that. He said, you spent so much time making us think wasn't nothing wrong. That when something really was wrong, we couldn't tell the difference. Because something wrong and something right look the same on you.
Okay.
Something wrong and something right look the same.
Wow.
You don't have your down season don't look down. And I think that our society has made us, now don't get me wrong, I'm the queen of don't look like what you've been through.
That's a fact.
But let us be very clear. God is also intentional with putting resources around. You ain't got to tell everybody everything, but he will put safe places around you where you can say, hey, this is what's going on. And they may be a resource, whether it be financial or maybe just spiritual. Somebody that know how to get a prayer through, that know how to tell you the verbiage, the terminology to use in your prayer and meditation time. But we don't even take those things of value because we are such an instantaneous, I need it right now. Not even realizing that it could be that very thorn that God put to show you that you can survive. That yeah, it is due. But if you call these people and have a conversation with them and say, hey, these are the things, don't try to get around not answer the phone. Neglect. Don't neglect the phone call and a bill collector calling, hey, this is what's going on. I can't pay you right now. Guess what? They're gonna stop calling you for a minute. They're gonna give you a chance if you have a conversation. But if you don't, they just think you dodging them. And anybody you trying to dodge, they pay people to call and get on your nerves.
Well, they don't even pay people no more. They got computers to do
robocall.
You know, and here's the other part. They'll have programs and resources for you to be able to get the help to pay your bill if you answer the phone.
It's so many. Oh my goodness, that happened to me. That happened to me before.
Answer the phone.
Answer the phone. They got things in place because they want their money.
And they probably gonna get it.
And they probably gonna get it.
Either they gonna discharge it and write it off on taxes, or you know what I'm saying? They gonna get it one way or another.
But if you don't, and the thing is, you don't have to hide from somebody because what they ain't gonna do is come to your house. But you want to stop them from calling? Say, hey, this is what's going on financially right now. I cannot pay y'all. Whatever, but have that conversation. Listen, I'm just saying.
Put on your mask.
We want y'all to partner with us and put your mask on and grow in your pains as we've been growing through our pains. And one of the things that we can stick with is Philippians 4:8, and it talks about, finally, my brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are of lovely and of good report, and if there be any virtue and there be any praise, think on these things. And so, just like Philippians 4, our architect, he had 4 key points. 1 was allow yourself to feel your emotions. 2 was do one thing each day to remind yourself of how amazing and great you are. 3 was spend time in prayer and meditation. And 4 was put your mask on first. And so if you would like to partner with us, 4 is our number for today. And so if you can partner with us with $4, okay, for the 4 steps that you need to do as you grow in pain. And as Philippians 4 says, and as we hold up 2 4s, that's 4 and 8. And that says, think on these things.
Yes.
Encourage yourself.
Man, listen, because if you don't, who will?
You got to have your own back.
Listen, if you're not your biggest cheerleader, I don't know who else gonna be your biggest cheerleader.
And only you know what you really survived. That was the part that helped me to understand why I gotta cheer for me. Because there are personal things. Can we be honest? There are things that some people just don't know that you survived. Things that you've done for money. Things that you've done just to be sane enough to attack every day. Like those things. Yeah, cheer for yourself. One, because God covered you. How about that?
That's right.
And it's not something that you having to deal with people knowing. But even beyond that,
no
shade. No shade. It's no shade. And the other thing is realizing that God is intentional about you. He was intentional about your existence. And if you are still here in the land of the living, blood and breath still in your body, he is not yet done with you. You yet have something to do. You yet are valuable to the kingdom and to us.
Also remember that as we do our studying of the Bible, that also 4 is the number of mercy. And I know we're talking about growing in pain. And some of us just need the Lord to have mercy on us because we're really going through trying times. But listen, and I know that $4 might not seem like a lot, but listen, we all gonna work together. And the $4 can go a long way. The $4 can be the seed for you. So that your seed can now go into the ground. Because
keep seed in the ground.
You better keep something in the ground. Because when that harvest time come around, when that harvest time come around.
That's right.
You
It's
know,
getting ready to be watermelon
seed
season
time
here.
and harvest time.
It's
always one
strawberry
It's
season.
gonna be strawberry season around here and watermelon season. My Lord.
That grace and mercy though, I'm over here singing that good old hymn, honey. Your grace and mercy brought me through.
Grace and mercy.
Woo! It brought me through.
Y'all didn't know that the engineer could sing.
I'm living this moment.
Come on, Frank Williams.
Because of you. I wanna thank you and praise you too. Cause your grace and mercy, y'all ain't saying nothing. Brought me. Y'all can't say nothing. Y'all virtual. But you can type in the chats. We love y'all.
We love y'all so
We
much.
love y'all.
Love y'all so much.
Wow, this went fast tonight.
Didn't it? Oh, Lord.
My cup of joe is gone.
Mine been gone.
I've been slowly slurping, but
I was trying to hold back, and it was gone. I looked up.
Listen, we send y'all out for grace and mercy. Please don't forget the amazing 4 points.
That's true.
If nothing else, remember to encourage yourself, pray, and meditate. God got you. And until next week, this is a cup of joe with Jericho.
We love y'all. Much love.